All right, welcome back to the SAP Engines channel, and we've got the Boosted Rides Death Trap Big Block Chevy here. Jason's already started tearing it apart a little bit, but quick rundown. It's a 522 cubic inch, obviously big block Chevy. It's got dart block, dart heads, Callie's crank, Oliver billet rods, JE pistons, and it's got the Holly intake. Oh no, this is a profiler intake to the blower adapter plate on here. So we're going to tear this down. We had a broken, where's that rocker shaft at? You got any of that stuff? Had a broken rocker shaft, so.
It's in my truck.
Oh, it's in Jason's truck. So broke one of the shafts. The needles all fell out. They're actually on this side of the head here. So we got some of the needles down in here. So we're going to tear this apart. One of the clips here. Burned up some push rods. I think you got some of those here.
Broke that bolt right there.
Yeah, I broke two bolts actually, and burned up push rod. Actually, it burned up one on the other side as well. I think with just a lack of maintenance as far as adjustment. So we're gonna go ahead and tear it down here and assess any other damages that might be done, and we'll give you some updates. I might have left one for you. Just watch, those studs are still on the bottom.
Why is that one all freaking like rubber?
Looks like it's been ingesting a little rubber there, huh?
A little bit.
Otherwise, it look good.
We need a taller engine stand.
Yeah. So as you can see here on this driver's head, this is the one that had the rocker shaft that was broken. Yeah, left a little bit of rubber inside the cylinder. So Jason's over there on his phone right now. He's trying
solitary.
yeah. He's trying to look up. I know they make them, and he found a couple of them, but basically for this motor, we're probably gonna have to put a filter on top of the big and ugly 5 9/16 hat. Oh, Jason's got it pulled up here. Any donations for the cause would be great. How much is it? Give me a little scroll. Jeez, $500. But you got to realize that was with the cylinder that basically had no exhaust on it. So imagine what's going through this motor every time we run this. So might be a cheap investment for $500, but we're gonna go ahead and tear out the front cover here, get the rest of the stuff, check the camshaft, pull the crankshaft. There should be no issues down there. There was no bearing material in it, but we'll check everything over. Mainly want to get this camshaft checked because one of the lash caps from this side ended up on this side up into the head. So we'll tear the rest apart now. Okay, so we got it torn down here. Got the pistons pulled out, and Jason came over. This is a good looking one here. I'm not sure which cylinder this was out of.
It says on the bottom.
2. A little bit of trash ran through the bearing, but
You can reuse them.
yep, we like to reuse stuff, of course. So then,
For just a boosted ride.
yeah. Well, we signed that liability waiver for our stuff, but what's wrong with it? How come? Is that normal?
It's stiff.
Yeah, it's got a little stiff.
Must have took that blue pill.
Well, unfortunately, yeah, I took the blue pill, and it was a rough one for it. So yeah, you can see here, got the ring lane. Actually, the ring is
Rib now for her pleasure.
Jesus, ring's actually stuck in here, so this is gonna have to be a replaced piston. Not sure if maybe just because of all that side load on there, definitely took a beating on the wrist pin. But we can always resize this small end of the rod. That's not a big deal. Bearing actually looks better than this one. What number was this? This is 3.
Yeah, it looks like 3.
So the only questionable thing is, come over here. You got your light on you? On the top side. You gotta show them the top side.
Yeah.
So you got some material from the piston on here, and there is some scoring up here that you can actually feel about a third of the way down from the cylinder right about in here. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but what are we going to do there, Jason? It looks like it should be... We could bore just one hole out here.
Yeah.
We've seen that before. When we originally tore this motor apart, it had, what, one cylinder that was, 40 thou bigger?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something like that, but... Either way, you know, if you guys have watched the first video or watched Boosted Ride, we're just going to hold that baby out and we're putting one piston in it and one ring set.
Hopefully a lot of that just piston material.
Yeah. Line-to-line coatings, you think you could coat that up and we'll just file that ring groove and reuse that? Yeah, well, we'll at least put one piston in it, so we'll do that. We'll hone this cylinder up. I'm going to look this up. I think the pistons are in stock. These were just a generic flat top piston, so that should be good. Like I said, resize that small end of the rod. You'll get a new wrist pin. We'll get one ring set. We'll file it for this hole, and we should be good. Other than that, there was nothing else, was there, Jason? Cam looked good. I wiped that all down. We'll get some head gaskets. Actually, we got some already. Oil pan gasket was good. I've already got intake gaskets at my shop, so we'll get the piston rings, and I think we're good to go. Throw it back together, and she might smoke a little bit, but it'll just add to the show of other smoke. So, well, I guess we'll continue this when we get this piston in, clean it up in the hone, and put it back together. So a little update here on the motor. We'll go over the specs here. This is a Dart Big M block. It's a Cali's Stealth Crank 4-inch stroke. It's got the Oliver rods in there. We're missing one rod and piston because we got to hone the small end of that rod out that was on the cylinder. It's just 3. And then new piston and rings are going to get filed for that. And then these are JE. It's a 4.560 bore. So yeah, makes it a 522 cubic inch. We got to get the cam in here. I don't know if I got the cam specs. If I do, I'll put it in there. And then we've got our Millidan drive on the front. We got to do some work up here and get everything lined up. And then we'll flip it on over and put the heads on. And here's a better look at the piston that came out of there. So I think I showed this already, but yeah, it's got the ring landing kind of smashed up there. But again, this is what happens when rubber goes through your motor and the exhaust valve rocker breaks. Yeah, it doesn't really do it a whole lot of good. So, new, like I said, piston, JE757F. These are just a stock piston and wrist pin and ring set from JE. So, new ones are here. We'll get them fitted and we'll get them installed. Like I said, cam here, timing set. I got to finish cleaning up the rest of the stuff and get her installed. Alright, so over here cleaning up the valve train, we run Jessel shaft rockers, so you have these stands that bolt onto the dart heads, which I'll show you here in a minute. And then we run Jessel shaft rockers. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm cleaning these, is just inspecting everything. So are the shafts moving freely? Are the cups where the push rods sit in, are they good? Here's an example of a bad one. This is one that a push rod obviously got little narfed up in, so we'll have to clean this aluminum up here, get this cup out, get it replaced. And then this is the one here that was on the exhaust that actually broke the shaft. So all the needles inside here are gone. Really won't pick it up on camera, so we're gonna have to press this bearing out and replace that. Got the parts for that. And then this one here, like I said, replace that cup. And then this is all of the driver's side, all good to go. Push rods have cleaned, but we have new ones that I'll show you here in a minute as well. Those are 40 thousandths restricted. So they've got a hole inside of here to restrict oil flow to the top. These are the bolts that hold the rockers down. These are ones that we bought, all brand new bolts. Did not go ARP just because of the cost, but those will be replaced as well. All right, next up are the heads here. These are the Dart 360 heads. We've got the triple valve springs on here. And flip this over so you can see this has 2 325 intake valve and a 1 880 exhaust valve. These are all titanium. Pretty much the best you can get. These are old school heads though, but you know what? They work for what we do. This motor should make about 1,400 something horsepower. So they've both been taken apart, cleaned up. Didn't need to lap anything. We did do a check on the seal for the valves and everything was pretty much in line. So we're good to go. Jason's just getting the head gaskets on the block in there now so we can set these on. Can't hit the hole.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Can't find the hole. Where are we gonna go here?
Up, right in there.
Right there.
Yeah.
So we left off last night with Jason putting the heads on there. I don't think you got much more done last night, did you, Jason?
Nope.
Sad about it in that last clip, and when I left, that was about the end of his shift. But we got the Milton front cover on here, ATI bouncer, and this is our double pulley. We only use one of these though because we're running the power steering. I don't run an alternator anymore. Missouri electric water pump, and then it's got all of our Gesso valve train in here, which we got the broken bolts out of the stands. Got all that stuff put back in here. And I don't remember, but it's a 1/7-1/8 ratio rocker on intake and exhaust. Beautiful Steve Morris valve cover, so thanks to Steve for those again. Then we've got our profiler tunnel ram intake, topped off with the adapter plate for the blower. CSR coolant thermostat in there, but it's been gutted out, so we don't run anything there. And then at the back here, you got the MSD Pro Billet distributor. And some old wires that we should probably get with Howie and get some new ones. So, But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got intake air. What do we got? Intake air temp and boost. And then back here we've got the Howie sensor for the oil pressure in the back. And then we've got our adapter for the MSD in the truck. And that's really about all we read on this motor. So, water temp sensor up front here. Other than that, that's it. So I'll insert a clip of this motor on the dyno at Steve Morris's on the chassis dyno in the truck, so that way you guys can hear what this thing sounds like. Otherwise, you can head on over to Boosted Ride channel on YouTube and see this motor going back in. And November 17th and 18th, we'll be down at Cleetus, Bradenton, Florida for the 2.0 4-hour of Le Mollets, and probably one of the biggest burnouts of the year. So, all right, we'll see you guys in the next one.